Hello everyone, and welcome to Peralta's Played for December 2025. We're in 2026 now, brand new year, woohoo! But we're going to look back at December 25 and see what we played, discuss what happened at the end of the year regards news and trailers and stuff like that, as we always do, and kind of give my 2 cents on what we've been doing, what we've been playing. So for those who haven't been here before, that's the point. So I come at the end of the month or the beginning of the next, depending on how the weeks fall, and we'll discuss the games I've been playing, what I'm hoping to finish, what I have finished, what I'm continuing on with, and generally kind of see where I'm at. It's kind of a progress check. It's like a monthly review. So that's the point of this, and it's sort of like I do as a podcast now, because once we finish looking at what games I played, we'll look at like trailers, news moments that have been happening. This month, for example, there's a lot of discussion around AI and the usage of AI in gaming, so that's something that kind of can come up, and what we'll do is we continue on from there regards opinions, thoughts, facts of the situation. So yeah, that's kind of what this is. So if you guys enjoy that sort of stuff, keep an eye out, because this happens every month. So when we finished last time in November, we still had a few games outstanding. And as you can see here, pretty much almost exactly after we finished the November one, we finished Pokemon Legends ZA's main game. Now, I actually really enjoyed ZA. I think there was one thing that I didn't love about what ZA did, and my issue is that they rushed the actual leveling up through the ranks to then have this kind of mid to end game that is kind of a little bit more arduous. And I feel like if you just given them a part way through the game where they said like, hey, you've got to get up a few certain ranks and you've got to explore, and there was more side quests during that portion, and it was like just you grinding up the ranks a little bit, I think that could have been more fun, and also extended the process of getting those last few levels, because those last levels, it felt like it was like 3 hours between one to the next, whereas I feel like if you'd done that middle part and you'd given people time to explore and stuff, you wouldn't have had to do that. You could have just had like it be the usual time, sort of like an hour and a half's worth of gameplay. So that was my one frustration with Legends ZA. Other than that, I think it's actually, I think it almost trumps Legends Arceus for me. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed going back and experiencing a region in the games that I didn't really pay much attention to the first time around. Like, I enjoyed the Mega Evolution part, but I didn't really pay too much attention to Kalos and Lumios as a city the last time round. So it was really fun to dig into it this time round, and it's actually made me want to go back and play a lot more Pokemon games on the channel. So that's a big win in my eyes. So that was Pokemon, and we're definitely going to go back and do more of the DLC. As you guys can see, we did some more content thereafter. Where was it? It's just that one video we've done. No, there's one here as well with the Hooper and the Mega Dimension. Mega Dimension. I'm thinking of the word. Can't think of the word. DLC. I don't know why I couldn't remember the word that I said 2 minutes ago. But we've gotten a lot further. We've obviously done. We've gotten Diancie. We've gotten Hooper. Congrats, Finn, on 29 months of subscribing. Happy New Year. Hello. So that's something I'm pretty happy with, and it's going to be an influence on some things we do on the channel going forward. Next up, now I am jumping a little bit ahead because between these two, but we did also finish Halo Wars this month as well, and again, pretty enjoyed that. It was a very different take on Halo than obviously the usual games. But obviously it was made years ago, but obviously it's very different. But it took me back to playing Empire at War. And I know Finn's going to say about this in chat. When are we going to play Empire at War? I don't know. But I really enjoyed the missions. Some of them were aggravating, but I think it was nice to kind of flex that strategic brain a little bit, think about how you were going to do things. I also liked how you were using, like, for example, the elephants, and you were using the elephants as like two different things. You could use them as a base, but then one of the last missions, you're using it to haul this artillery, this like bomb basically up a hill, and you've got to be very intelligent how you do that, or it's going to roll back and you lose the mission. So I was enjoying kind of flexing that strategic mind that I don't often flex. packs. So that was very fun with Halo Wars, and the story was fun as well. Actually, it was a very different story in terms of you got to see a little bit more of like regret and the arbiter before fell and stuff like that. So enjoyed that too. Sorry, I'm just going to jump over the chat here. Do you have a rank a year of games? We could maybe do that today. I don't know. I was thinking about it, but we could do it because I've changed my list in the Discord now to feature like kind of what games I've done in the year. The issue with elephants is you need to address them. And I'm not going to address the next comment. Okay. So Cosmic Invasion was the next one, and this is a very short game, admittedly. Nate, Tater, and I played this in one session, 2.5 hours, and I enjoyed it though. I really did enjoy it. Really did feel like you were in an arcade. It felt like you were playing an arcade game, but with all the kind of modern invention, right? And the one thing that I didn't like is that the people can just drop in. There was twice where like someone else would just drop into our group, and I was like, I'm pretty sure we stopped people from being able to do that. And what was frustrating with that was that the people that were joining typically had a character that we hadn't unlocked yet, and that was a little frustrating because it was like, well, you've clearly finished the game and you're just dropping into other people's lobbies, and it was like, please don't, like, they were almost not ruining it for us, but it felt like ruining it, you know. Yeah, I didn't love that part, but everything else was fun, and it was nice seeing a different villain be used for a Marvel game. I feel like Marvel gets stuck in kind of the MCU synergy a lot, but seeing Annihilus be used for this, and also seeing heroes that haven't really been utilized be used in this, you know, seeing what's her name? Oh my gosh, I'm losing the names. The names are going out of my head. Phyla-Vell, seeing what's his name? Mr. Horseface. What's his name? Why can't I think of it? What's his freaking name? I'm losing it. Beta Ray Bill, Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is obviously Frank Castle as Ghost Rider, which is obviously a really cool pick as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So that was cool to see, and I would almost like not a sequel, but maybe like a little bit of DLC for it with a few extra levels and a few extra heroes. I'd like to see that. Because it was really fun. Some of the pronunciation and the voice acting in it was very jank as well, but that was that led to some really funny moments. There's a moment in the game where Captain America is shouting over to Taskmaster, and the delivery of the line sounds like they're literally showing us like right next to each other on screen, and it sounds like he's shouting over like 10 yards. It's quite funny, actually. But yeah, so that was Cosmic Invasion. I'm just going to jump back over to chat for a sec. Cosmic Invasion looks fun, but is it worth the bang for your buck? Well, it is when it's free on Game Pass. Yeah. I actually did. That's actually a good point. I did refund it on Steam, so I could buy it on Game Pass. And don't get me wrong, we played the full story in 2.5 hours, but there was a lot of achievements and stuff to do. I know I didn't do them, but Nate did, and Nate went through and played the game for an extra few hours and kind of got a lot more achievements and like recolors and skins for the characters and stuff. So that was like, you know, there's more to the game than what I played, but I was kind of focusing on getting through the main aspect of it. Why have a multiplayer game if your lobby can just be invaded by a rando? If you had 4 people, I don't think it would happen. I don't know how it happened. I don't know whether it was like a bug or whatever, but yeah, it was happening. It was a little bit frustrating in regards to that. Sorry, jumping back up because I missed that from Lily. Tier list, that way it might be easier than number. We could potentially do a tier list at the end of this. I'll see what we kind of what we're like for time. But I can at least run through and tell you guys which games I most enjoyed this year because I have the list. We also got Guild Wars Reforged this year, and I jumped into that, as you can see here on Questlog, my MMO series. So I have 2 MMO series. I have the kind of bit base between sci-fi and fantasy, and you have Questlog, which is the fantasy, and Mission Log, which is the sci-fi. And so I started Questlog off with Guild Wars Reforged. We haven't got back to this yet, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I would like to play more. It's just I haven't had the right time to do it. But I did enjoy the an hour and a half we played, and it was beautiful, and it took me back to my childhood because Guild Wars was like one of my first MMO experiences, so that was really fun. I didn't notice as much graphical changes as maybe I thought, because I played the original still like a week before just to kind of see. So I don't know, like someone would have to put it side by side for me. But to be fair, a lot of the time, unless it's like a game that's from like 2005 and it gets refreshed in like 2020 or whatever, or got like refreshed like 15 years later, like I don't see the difference as much. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of not the person who notices the small changes between like high and ultra graphics, for example. Like other people I get do, I just don't. I don't know if that's like eyesight thing or what, but I don't. So there you go. There's that. Some more SWTOR we did. There's not much to say on that. We're still going through. We've just gotten to finish drumming cars. We're about to go to Balmora in SWTOR. We'll get back to that. The one thing I will say about that is the leveling process is going so quickly that I think we're going to have to start like divvying up the side quests even more so between the characters that we play as. So I'm thinking that my character now won't do any side quests throughout the rest of the main story of the game, and then my other characters can pick up on those next planets as we go through. So we'll see about that as well. The top one game I got into this year was Magic, not a video game, but a fun card game. Yeah, Magic the Gathering, yeah. Or is it Magic as in like Magic is like a different game. Part of the new year is I want to play more manual games over video games. Yeah, it's cool. I'm personally, I've got a lot of video games that I still need to play. That's my thing. Anyway, so we had some rival stuff come out because of December. Obviously, that's it's Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering. Yeah, okay, cool. The Wall of Yakuza. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So Rivals next, and we had 5.5 drop. We had Rogue drop into the game, which is a really fun character. Rogue is probably one of the more complex kits in the game, especially because she can steal from other heroes. But I really enjoy that. I think she's very versatile because of that. She can do a few different things. She can have she can get a shield at like a moment's notice, and that really is fun. But also she's like flying around the map constantly, like she's jumping all over the place. She's got like a very aggressive kit, and it was really fun to play as her. Now, as you can see on that thumbnail, I don't know if you guys can see, because it's right in there. Right, just 2 seconds. Is it me, or does anyone not tend to focus on the new characters that much when they come out? I only replay them more in my own time when it's been a while since release. No, I immediately focus on new characters. Because for me, the way I play Rivals, and I know a lot of people don't play it the same way as me, I feel like I don't have a comprehensive idea of what's going on in the game if I haven't played all the characters. So the way I play is, even if I'm bad at a character, I want to know how that character works, because I can then best know how to do things. I find that people who don't play a vast majority of characters don't understand. For example, let's say you only play DPS, right? If you're sat there playing DPS and you don't know healer reloads, for example, you don't know, like, let's say Cloak and Dagger has 12 daggers. I think it's 12 daggers. I could be wrong. I wouldn't know that, so then I'm thinking, well, why am I not getting healed? Well, you kind of can pace it out in your head. Okay, right, the healing stopped, get back, because they're reloading. And so, like, there's certain things. I'm not saying everyone's perfect and everyone can know that instantly, but if I feel like the more you know of all the characters, like, for example, Strange, another example. I've done it on Strange, so you know if a Strange's body language changes. I know that sounds so stupid, but if a Strange starts moving in a particular way, you know he's going to ult. And like, I think that's better to know if you've played Strange, because you know how you start moving when you're Strange, because you start like jumping up and kind of trying to get down to be in front of people. Lily's right as well, to be fair, by the way. Everyone loves a bit of hype. Yeah, everyone loves a new character. But yeah, Nate, you should know the characters so you know how to have them on your team, but also how to kill them. Oh yeah, Strange ults become obvious. Yeah, you like, especially if Strange levitates and there's not damage to get out of, you know he's trying to get over something to get down onto you. And like, so like, I personally will always play a new character day one, not just because I'm making a video about said character, but because in my head I then know how that character works, even if I'm bad at it, so that I can counter it. or try and counter it, or try and do something about it, or learn a little bit of what's going to go on meta-wise. So that's my... Jeff's ult is now just terrible compared when the game came out, purely because characters know how to get around it now. I sort of... What I think is the issue is that I think a lot of Jeff players now, or have always done, is that Jeff players will jump in there and use their ult without thinking. The thing is, what you should do now, compared to when the game started, you would try and get 6 people. And this is what a lot of people try and do with their ults as well, by the way. People try and get 6 people. Get 1. If you get 1 person with your ult, you have destroyed their cadence. If you can get 1, if you get 2 or 3, great. But if you can get 1 singular person, you change the map. People think, oh, I've got to get the big kill. No, you don't. You genuinely don't. If you get 1 person out of the enemy team, they're now 5 versus 6. That's really every ult, though. Once you know about every character in their ult, you know how to stop them. Magnitude ult stops have become the norm. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, is there's the counter strategy now, right? So, like, Cloak and Dagger now we'll try and... They will be on Cloak, first of all, whilst they're doing their ult. And second of all, they'll use the 1, 2, 3 streams to kind of get around a point or whatever. And then the last part they'll use to kind of get out and hide in like a corner or whatever. So there's like counter strats. There's strats and counter strats. I think with Jeff it's more obvious because of his massive whiff, he misses his ult. Well, yeah, that's the point, isn't it? So like that's why I'm saying like Jeff will be better doing picks like 1 or 2, and kind of really I don't think the suicide strat works as much now unless you've got like a lot of people would jump off the map with like the whole team. A lot of people still jump off the map if they've got 1 person. Really, what I do now, if I've played Jeff, I'll actually grab someone and just hold them for as long as possible, and then let them out in like a closed room or something, especially a healer, because then the healer's maximum usage has gone right down because they're in a room where no one else is there. They can't heal anything. So that healer is essentially dead. The healer might as well be dead. They ever add new moves to all characters? They do in terms of team-ups, and they have changed some abilities for certain characters, Lily, but nothing to where a character's been totally reworked as yet. Like, I know Overwatch did with a few of their characters, they've reworked the characters, but not so much in Rivals as yet. Everyone in the game going, oh my gosh, we can't stop support ults. Then, oh my gosh, we keep getting killed now, our support ults. Now, let's strategize about when to ult, give shields and dodge, etc. Yeah, exactly, I agree. I think that's what's happened in... And it's like Wonder ults, for example, being a Scarlet Witch main. Jeff is the closest to a rework, actually. Yeah, you're right, because Jeff got a lot of changes to how his kit worked. You're right. But it wasn't like not the abilities didn't change. It was just they changed what happens with those abilities, to where his gameplay changed as a result. So like it wasn't like it wasn't like a change of kit. It was like the kit changed to where you would play Jeff differently. Because I suppose things become predictable and the sweats will have the tactics forever otherwise. Yeah, exactly. But Wonder, Scarlet Witch, still one of the not worst ults in terms of its capabilities, but worst ults to get off in the game. But, for example, now that Gambit's been added, there's actually a really good pairing there where you can use Gambit's ult with Scarlet Witch's. She can hide around a corner to the last second and zip round because of the speed of Gambit's ult gives her. And you can actually just wreck people. By sweats, I mean you and Nathan. Thanks, Lily. Thank you. Wonder when the game came out was just wiping the whole team out with their ult, but now people have more knowledge is basically one of the worst. Yeah, but there's ways of kind of pushing it back up to that, you know? They do be sweating. Yeah, but anyway, we've talked about Rivals for a long time there, and it wasn't even about the news necessarily. So as you guys can see on there as well, we had Deadpool teased for the game, and that was teased at the Game Awards, which we're going to go in and talk about in a bit as well. And he's been teased as all the roles throughout those consecutive weeks since he was teased. He's in the game, in the roster, but he's not being... he was shown as a duelist, then a vanguard, and then a support, and now has a strategist, and now has a question mark next to his name. So we don't know what he's going to be, which is really interesting, a really intriguing way of keeping the conversation going around Deadpool. I personally think he might be some kind of hybrid, but we'll see about that. So that's kind of interesting. I'm hoping we'll find out soon, because he's releasing into the game on the 16th. So that'll be fun to see what happens there. Watch Deadpool have a 4th slot in the next change. Well, he already has. He's got a question mark against him now, so we don't know what he's going to be. So yeah, so that's coming up. We'll have a look at the trailer for that in a little bit. We also got the Winter Festival, which was fun because you got to see Jeff have 3 different new kinds of kit. Obviously based around this game mode, but it's nice to see that they're so dedicated to having they're dedicated to having these game modes actually matter and sort of be a little bit more in depth, rather than just like one-off little like, oh, we'll throw a map together and do something silly. What if he switched each week? I think that would be silly. Personally, I think what he has to be is either they have to pick a role for him and they've just been teasing us this whole time, which would be very really Deadpool-esque, or if they have been teasing something by putting him through all the roles, is make him somewhat hybrid. And I think that's very easy to do, by the way, because look at Penny, for example, right? Penny has the ability to heal people to an extent now with her nets, as well as be a tank. You have characters like Black Widow with her team up being able to heal and DPS. So like there's more kind of flexibility between the roles now. So I think that's what they've been kind of leading towards and showing us can happen with Deadpool. Deadpool's probably going to have passive regen or some kind of meaning he's got self-healing and high damage, so he might be a more independent DPS potentially. It all depends, because he could even have think of it like Cloak and Dagger. He could have something like that. He could have like he could turn it a heal pool and Deadpool. It could be something stupid like that. You never know. That would be. I actually think that would be hilarious if you turned it to heal pool, and it was like he put a nurse's hat on or something like that. You know, you never know. Something silly like that. Tank pool. Can you imagine? Like just turning it a different, like putting different hats on. He's suddenly different like versions of himself. Anyway. Gears of War. I'm gonna talk about Yakuza last because there's that much to talk about. Gears of War. We started Gears of War 2. I'm a little bit further into the game than what this video suggests. I'm actually about 5 hours in now, but we are waiting for the next one to be edited, so this is all we've got on here for now. But we've gotten a decent chunk into the game. We're actually like one stream off finishing it, and I'm really enjoying it. What I was saying when we were playing Gears of War was that I was wanting to get into the meat of the story, and Gears of War 2 feels like we're getting there. Like I'm getting to know more lore about, like you get to learn a lot more about Dom and you get to learn a lot more about Marcus a little bit more in this one, and like what's happening with the Locust, and like also just kind of like more about the world, like the other characters and even the Carmine family. And I got attached to Carmine, and then we lost him. And I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I'm really, really upset that they killed my boy, my Carmine too. He was ripped from your arms, quite literally. And there's a moment, I've got it in my shorts tab, and there's a moment where I'm saying like, oh, I love Carmine, and then he just slides out the fucking plane, the helicopter, the drop ship. It was devastating. He could always be a mini Rogue and Gambit. One of his, going back to obviously Rivals there, one of his abilities lets him switch between those roles. Yeah, that's very, that could potentially be it, Tater, yeah. Seeing Gears of War, while I'm not the biggest fan of the series, has been a little bit of a nostalgia trip. I'm enjoying it. Quote, what I do at the moment is a lot at the time. What? Huh. Do you know what? That still holds up, I think. It might be Peralta from 2022, but it still sounds like Peralta from 2025. But yeah, so we're going to be finishing Gears of War 2 very soon. What I will say, and this very much dismays me, and Lily is it here in chat, Lily and I did not get to play Gears of War 2 together because we had some issues with the Xbox cloud gaming because a lot of Gears of War just isn't available on PC, and so because of that, there was some issues with Xbox Live for Gears of War 2 specifically. We'll be able to get back to playing together for the next ones, but it was saddening not having Lily with me for this. It's okay. It's also fun watching your reactions from Twitch too. It is fun, but like it was more fun playing it together. You stayed behind long enough to make sure no locusts followed them, but also long enough to make sure the hell went down. What, Carmine? Yeah. Address the elephant. Okay, but if the hell wasn't eaten, they wouldn't have killed the big thing. Yeah, the hell he wasn't eaten. Yeah. Exciting to play the rest of it together. Yes. And then obviously we've got the new one coming this year as well, which I am excited about at some point. So that'll be on the docket. I'm not gonna obviously commit to when I will play that, but you'll see. Your multiplayer streams are honestly some of the most fun streams you've done. I love those. No spoilers or hints at spoilers for E is 3, please, gang. E is 3, by the way. We'll have to finish a lot of games before then. Yeah. But they're relatively quick games, admittedly, aren't they? Like, you know, Lily's going to make me play the mobile game as well, apparently. Anyway, let's address the elephant in the room, as Finn's as Finn's pointed out. Yakuza. Now, what you guys are seeing here is the iron wall of Yakuza. And all I'm going to say is, and there's been a lot of controversy around this in my community, is that I went too far with Yakuza 0. There was some side stuff that I should have just stopped way earlier, or done a little bit off stream and put it together in a video off stream or something. But we did it all live because I had time over the Christmas break, and it killed us as a community. It is fractured the community. It hasn't actually, but I enjoyed the story of Yakuza. I think some of the side gameplay I should have, again, as I said, left it or done some on my own time, because the wait for like the real estate game and the cabaret, I actually really enjoyed the cabaret. I know a lot of people will be like, what? I enjoyed the cabaret. The reason I didn't finish the cabaret was because I did all the real estate first, and the real estate was draining me because you have to wait so long. The cabaret, you can actually pretty much strong arm. You can say, right, okay, I'm gonna force myself through this, and you can sort of do it relatively quickly. The real estate killed me. The funny parts were good though. Beats a Girl and the Purple Cat Lady were funny. Yeah, like there was definitely parts of it that I loved, and I think Yakuza is a very funny game series. And I'm going to say it now, I will be playing the others. There will be a point where we go and play Yakuza 2. If people don't enjoy it, that's fine. What I'll say on the other side is I will never go to that same extent again, because that was too much. We might do some off stream if there's like a game mode where like it takes a long time and I feel like I still want to do it. And I will say, and I thought about this, I will say if I feel like I have some extra time at some point, I might download Yakuza 0 again and do the extra little bit of side quests that we didn't on a video off stream. I can't promise it, but I might do that. I've thought about it because I feel like I kind of left it at a point because I was so broken that day, but I would like to do it in full maybe at some point. But I'm not promising that. That's if I have some extra spare time at some point. I'm not promising that will definitely happen. So it might. I felt it was draining for you, so we also felt that. Yeah, I mean, in this episode here, episode 30, you see me at the end basically dying. I was done. I was done. But I wouldn't hate going back and finishing, like doing like the like an epilogue episode and kind of finishing it all off. I think off-stream stuff is so valid, especially if it's not story related. Yeah, 100%. I think the issue for me is with this mini game is because of the way it was staggered. It's not like where like the story comes in at the end of the mini game, if that makes sense. It's like the story is peppered throughout the mini game, so I would have to stop, start. But I feel like if I was to do it again and there was such a long piece like that, I would maybe make like a side episode off stream that's like me, and then I'll cut out all like the mini game aspects that are just going to be the same and the same and the same, and then like have the story elements like side by side almost. That's how I'd probably do it in future. if we ever felt like it got that bad. Because I will say, anyone who watched me play Yakuza 0, if you haven't watched me play Kiwami was very different to that. There was some stuff that was a little bit arduous, but it wasn't to the same degree as Yakuza 0. I feel like Yakuza 0 was trying to like really pad out some of those moments, and it was just really pissing me off. Kiwami, I never felt that. I felt like it was pretty, like, yes, we were doing side quests, but there were side quests that were like, you were done with them and then you moved on to the next one. So it was very different. Anyway, a lot of people have opinions on this, so let's read through it. The repetitive bits were soul-sucking, to be honest. The main story, the few side bits will be grand. Yeah. Any game that requires grinding or excessive minigaming, not even just Yakuza, but any, like, even other JRPGs where grinding is common at some point, it shouldn't really happen on stream. I mean, what I'll say is that I think depending on how you're managing that, it's fine. What I mean by that is, let's say you're playing an MMO and you're grinding for a piece of gear and you're just hanging out with people while you're doing it. That's different. And, like, I don't necessarily intend to cut every video where there's a little bit of a boring bit out, because that would take me forever and a day, and people can just skip along in a video if they want to. But what I will say is that I'm going to more manage, if there's ever a game like this where there's lots of side quest stuff to do again that I feel isn't getting to be enjoyable for me, because I say this nicely, my enjoyment is what is reflective on you guys' enjoyment. I think if I'm having a laugh and we're just doing something boring in game but we're having a good chat, that's different, right? So it's about me, really, and I don't mean that in an ego way. I mean that in a way of, if I can still perform whilst we're doing something less interesting, that's a different thing. But this started to suck my soul, and like Nate said, that reflected on you guys. So I think that's the thing. I think Yakuza's story is the main core of everything, the main gameplay, the character and story engaging to me, but I can't agree some parts of it aren't fun. The grindy stuff isn't mandatory. Yeah, I agree, Finn, and I think that's where we'll sort of draw some of the line next time. Anything that needs grinding gets tedious to watch because there's no substance to the content. Agree, but also if someone said we're grinding out this bit, let's play music and crack on, I'd be down for that. Yeah, context set from the outset. Yeah, exactly. The thing with Kiwami is that it's a smaller game because it was a lot of reused assets from Zero. The original Yakuza was like that too, where the mini games were a lot smaller in scale. I kind of prefer that. I don't love mini games in general in games. I never really picked up Gwent in The Witcher 3, for example. Part of why I think Zero is so huge was because it was the anniversary game, and I don't think it was gonna be any old entry in the series. It was as large and wide as possible to hit as many notes with people. Yeah, and that's fine, and that's totally fine, and I enjoyed it within that. But yeah, the one game I'll do the mini game in all over is FF8 and Triple Triad. Triple Triad's in Final Fantasy 14 as well. Just you guys wait until we play Final Fantasy 14. We'll be Triple Triading all over the place. Zero did actually save the franchise, which I'll give it for all its flaws. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's a bad game, and actually I did enjoy many parts of it, but it did kill me in other ways. Triple Triad all over your face. Wow, okay. And then 2 months after we started playing Arkham Asylum, I came back for my last stream of the year to play more Arkham Asylum, and Nate will attest to the fact that I was being dumb as shit during this. The year had zapped me. I think Yakuza zapped me, if I'm being completely honest, because I didn't know how to jump. I couldn't solve the most basic of puzzles, and that's why I named the episode "The World's Worst Detective," and also put on the thumbnail "Not a Clue." Boy was not present in his own brain. I really was out of it, like so out of it, like it was killing me. And not that I'm the smartest egg on a normal day, but I was really bad during that. Like a Dragon's mini games are integral to the game, but aren't too grindy and are fun enough to keep things interesting. I think it's part of the game's strongest suits, being able to balance gameplay so effectively. Well, like I say, we'll get to the Yakuza games again eventually, but yeah, Arkham Asylum, we're a decent part through that now as well. We're about 4 hours into that as well. So yeah, I'm going to be finishing that sometime early this year as well. So that's on the docket. That's on the docket. Right, that's all of our games for 2025 that are on there, for December, sorry. But let me just quickly, because you guys were saying about it just there, well, Lily was saying about it, we're going to look at the games I've completed this year. And there's quite a few, actually. So let's go through. This is alphabetical order for this year. We've done Back for Blood, Claire Obscure, Dispatch, Final Fantasy 1, Gears of War Reloaded, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War Ragnarok, Halo 2, 3, ODST. How many have I counted now? That's 11. Reach, Halo Wars, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Mafia the Old Country, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Pico Park, South of Midnight, Split Fiction, Yakuza 0, and Yakuza Kiwami. So that's 21 games we've completed this year. Visual tier list, please. Use Word or something else. Oh, Lily Man. I haven't got the... That means doing loads of things. I haven't got the setup for that right now. You'll have to deal with it. Fuck that. My favorites straight up. Do you know what? Fucking hell. Lily. Fucking, I'm gonna have to do Notepad for this. Because it's the easiest thing to get up. Fucking Notepad, man. Rude, how are you going to tear it in your head? You're so over the top. Hold on, maybe it'll create you one. I'm trying to help. Carry on. But we're live. We're live, people. We're live. It's fine. I've got this. It's fine. 1 second. Right. Right. Look what you're doing to me. Look what you're doing to me. Put this here for 2 seconds. That's actually horrendous. Look what you've done, Lily. Look what you've started. Perfect, it's great. No, it's not. It's just hanging over everything. But this is what Lily wanted. So I hope you guys are happy because Lily's just made a mess of my stream. Hope you feel better, Lily. Hope you love everything about it. Hope you enjoy. Right. There you go. You can't even see that. This is the best part. 1 second. Where's the fucking... Why the fuck is it like this? There we go. I'm just off the screen. I'm just going to keep myself off the screen for a second. Okay, so. Claire Obscure. Why the fuck has that gone there? Claire Obscure. See what you've done, Lily? You've actually fucked my stream. Claire Obscure, number 1. Easy. Easy work. I think then we'll go with Split Fiction. I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed playing that with Tater. That was a really good game. Insane level of storytelling, and the way they did it was really fun. Then we'll go... What did I like? Dispatch was really good. I might change this as we go, but Pico Park is going at the bottom because I never want to play it again. Halo 1. Right, so I'm gonna rank my Halo games because I have an order for Halo games, and it's Halo 2, then it's Halo 1, then it's Halo 3 for me. Then it's Reach. Then it's Wars. And then it's ODST. I like them all, but ODST was my least favorite of the lot. Mafia Old Country. I am going to put Mafia Old Country. I'm going to put it in between. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here. No, Nate, this is what's happening now. This is what you guys get. Cosmic Invasion. It was good, but I don't think it was worth like writing home about. Like I wouldn't like say it's changed my life. Do you know what I mean? So it's going here. None of these are bad, by the way. Ghost of Tsushima. I think that has to go. I think that has to go sort of here. Let me get rid of the other ones that I don't need anymore. Final Fantasy 1. I mean, I really enjoyed playing Final Fantasy 1. I can't lie to you guys. But do I feel like it was above some of these? I don't feel like it was above. I think it's there. I feel like I'm pushing down the middle of the list. South of Midnight, it was a good game, but I don't think it really kills any of these for me. I'd say probably here. No, actually. Here. Right, sorry, I'm getting rid of stuff as we go here. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. Hellblade was actually a very poignant game, but I didn't enjoy a lot of the gameplay elements. I'm going to put it here. Story-wise, it'd be higher up, but we had lots of lag with it and lots of problems with it. And so I didn't love that. God of War Ragnarok. I'm going to put it here. Yakuza 0. I'm going to put it there. Yakuza Kiwami. I don't really remember it at this point, but I'm going to put it there. Gears of War Reloaded. I had a great time playing that with Lily. I'm going to put that there. And Back 4 Blood. It was an okay game, and I enjoyed the experience with friends, but I wasn't like super into it. I'd put that, like, I enjoyed it, but like it wasn't like my favorite game ever. So that's the ranking. That's the ranking. Hellblade pretty to look at, but not fun to play. I agree. Yeah, John, why do elves in Divinity have giraffe necks? I hate them. Ragnarok feels like the Giga Bloat game. I enjoyed it. It was just a lot. One of the days when you play a Mock Yakuza, we should do a ranking Peralta. Maybe one day. There's a lot of games still to go. Anyway, yeah, the psychosis effect is a lot. Reach being that low makes me feel nice. Things that are not nice, but it's not low in reality, Nate, because this is like the list only goes to right. So let me shorten this list now. 1 second, because like it's covering my screen. There we go. Should have done that to begin with, really, shouldn't I? Because you could have guys could have seen my no. So like to clarify, the list only turns to at about here. Everything above that is just degrees of success. For me, all of these I enjoyed at one level or another. I didn't dislike any of these games. This is where it starts to turn to, so it's like if you think of this as like 10, what was wrong with ODST? I just didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed the story. I didn't enjoy, like, I want to be a Spartan. I like being a Spartan, you know. For me, it's that I didn't enjoy being an ODST. I feel like you would have enjoyed ODST a little more if you didn't go around getting the terminals. But then I wouldn't have enjoyed, like, I wanted to know what was going on, so that was like the story was relevant to me. So like, I get what you're saying, but like, but what matters to me in a game is understanding like the lay of the game and understanding the lore of the games. And like, I understand that a lot of people don't love that, and a lot of people want to like get through the game, and that's fine. But like, if there's lore to be had that's going to really get me to understand what's going on, and they were all voiced, by the way, it wasn't just like me reading loads of terminals forever. Like if you remember when I played Halo 2, because all the terminals were just all the terminals were just written text, I wasn't as interested. But if they're voiced or they're cutscenes, then I'm invested. So that's my ranking. But to clarify, again, I say think of this as like 8 to 10. Think of that like that, and then think of these as sort of, those are like sort of 7, 6, 5, and then I'd say that's like really, really lower end. I can't believe Pico Park is at the bottom. I shake my head. Pico Park made me like, I don't think I ever want to play anything like that again. I genuinely was questioning my friendship with Nate after that stream, because I didn't know if Nate was actually pissed off at me or not. So like, I don't think I would ever want to play Pico Park again. Like I genuinely went off from that stream and I was like, will my friendship survive this? You had fun. Did I? A little bit at the time, but I don't think I'd want to play it again. I don't think I'd want to play the second one. Anyway, there's that. Thanks, Lily, for ruining my stream. No, I'm kidding. One of my first streams to Pico Park stream, and I'll be honest, I stopped watching streams for a minute because of it. See? I'm only ever pissed for the bit, don't worry. But what if number go up? Yeah, but number go up is only if I want to play the second game. I haven't played the first. You say that, we'd all stop being friends if we played Overcooked. I think Overcooked would yeah, yeah, I think that would kill people. Anyway, we're going to move on to other things now. Guys, are you excited? Are you excited? We're going to talk about trailers now, guys. So, let's first talk about the one that no one expected. No one expected this one. I genuinely think everyone was shocked when this happened. Star Wars: The Fate of the Old Republic teaser. Now, this game is probably a few years out, a good few years out, and I think I kind of hate when trailers are given to us so early, because then you have to sit with the wait for this game. We haven't even got Star Wars Eclipse yet, and we're already looking at another Star Wars game that's years out. But they're using the Old Republic setting, not the same Old Republic setting. This seems to be a canon version inspired by the Legends version of the Old Republic. But that still is exciting because they're pulling elements from the first games, and yeah, well, you'll see. We actually thought this was going to be that the game. What's it called? Is it Interstellar? Was that the name? The one that from The Last of Us studio. That's what we thought it was at first when we were watching on the night. Have you not seen Interstellar? Sorry, am I getting confused with something else? You know which one I get? Intergalactic or whatever it's called. The one where it's the. I don't know what it's called, but it's the girl. It's the actress who was in. It's the actress who was in You, and she was in Sabrina as well. No. It's what's the name of it? No, not blonde. It's she was the bully in Sabrina. Oh, and she was in You as Joe's love interest in season 3 that he was trying to run away with and then followed her to France. One second, I'm going to look it up. What's the studio name for the last... is it Intergalactic? It's Intergalactic, sorry, not Interstellar. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. That's it. Sorry, Intergalactic. Sorry, I thought it was Naughty Dog as well. Okay, great. But I thought this was Intergalactic when I first saw it. That's what I thought it was. And then we saw this, and I knew it was Star Wars. Anyone who's played Knights of the Old Republic, you will know. And then the website wasn't up for ages, and if you go to more at the website, there was nothing there. Also, Swafotter is a horrendous acronym. Swafotter. Spoilers, the Old Republic doesn't make it. Okay. Good old interdictor class cruiser. Yeah. I wonder if Jedi 3 was supposed to be announced yet. Well, no, I don't think so. What we're going to do is, as well, whilst we're here, because it's showed up already, we're going to watch the next one, which is Galactic Racer. Now, this was showed later in the Game Awards, but we'll watch this now whilst we're here. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I want to see what it's going to be. But probably a while out yet, so I wouldn't get our hopes up anytime soon. This is coming in 2026. This is coming in 2026.
Back. The way it was before the Empire shut it down. Massive engines. Lightning fast. Lives on the line. The pilots were incredible. Best of the best. United by one beautiful dream. The galaxy needs racing.
So there's Sebulba at the end there as well. Now, what I'll say with this is I'm not usually a big racer person, but with it being Star Wars, I'm willing to give it a go. And I think what'll be fun about this is it'll be a really great game to kind of pull out if we want to do like some kind of like community night. Sometimes I think this is what I enjoy. Like I would enjoy about it, like probably play this with the community, like having a game that I can like pull out for that sort of thing, because I feel like other people have like, you know, the kind of like Jackbox or What Do You Meme, etc. But it'd be nice if like this was something that we did every so often, played a Galactic Racer, and yeah, I'm excited to have a go of this. And also it's interesting to see if there's going to be a story attached to it in any sort of way, because Sebulba is there. I'd be interested to know what he's been doing since the time of the Phantom Menace. I think he's showed up in a few other areas, but it'll be interesting to see him again there, which is cool. And obviously this looks to be set after the Empire's Fall, but before the sequel trilogy. At least that's what it looks like here. So yeah, there's 2 games to be excited about there. Let's read what John was saying, sorry. It's pissed though. I know Casey Hudson said, don't believe the 2030 timeline, but like, bro, your company started 2 months ago. Don't even try and deny it unless you work. Yeah, your people like slaves. Did you see what game is used in the new PS5 jailbreak? I didn't. No, I didn't. The one that we're not going to show on stream, because it's got a few interesting elements in the trailer. But we're also getting a new Divinity game from Larian, which is their new big project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go into what kind of came out with that, because I'll use that as a discussion point in general. In fact, what I'll do is, so that we can see sort of the thumbnail still. There. Where is it? Is that the one? That's not the one, right? What was it called again? It was just called Divinity, wasn't it? Is that the one? No. Anyway, there's a new Divinity game coming out, and yes, that one. Is that the one? Okay. Well, anyway, we're not going to play it on. Hi, Zane. Welcome in. The physical disc of the remastered Star Wars Racer's Revenge. That's really cool. You're literally looking at it. I just didn't know because it didn't look right. Yeah, that's why I'm not watching it. We're not watching it. But so new game coming out, obviously based in the same universe as the other Divinity games that they've made, but at a separate point, so you don't have to play those if you don't want to necessarily. But I'm probably planning to at some point. Now, Larian has also come into fire a lot this past month for AI usage. They intend to have a open forum regards people being able to ask about their processes. And essentially, there's been a lot of discussion, not just about Larian, but about Sandfall, who made Clair Obscure, and other companies as well at large, playing AI, using AI, etc. And this conversation's been done to death on this channel. You guys know my standpoint. You guys know what I like and don't like regards AI. But I just keep getting concerned because it feels like big games are doing this now. You know, the Arc Raiders, you saw them go up and get an award at the Game Awards, and they seemed like robots themselves, the people who went up and got that award. It was like watching ChatGPT go up and get an award. And I'm really concerned that creativity is just being sucked out of an industry. And not just this industry, but other industries on like a big scale. And even if it's for placeholders, I still don't love that. I get it in a way, but I still don't love it. I don't think we need to be using AI to make anything creative. There's usages for AI in the wider world that make sense. You know, I was thinking about this watching a video the other day. I was thinking about like, basically there was this video I was watching where you saw someone who was doing the arduous work of putting a map together for someone on a trip. And the trip was like you would have to mark on all these separate pieces of paper, like the journey of your trip. It was like Google Maps, but in the 60s, right? Things change, things evolve, and the arduous processes become that would once be a job become no longer a job, right? Those things I can get. But when creativity is involved, I'll never ever be able to excuse the use of AI. And Lily, I think you were talking about this the other day, actually. You were saying that maybe if AI was limited to like funny little memes or being stupid and being silly, that would be like almost passable, almost okay. You'd be like, ugh, but like it would be okay, right? But it's just become so big so quickly and so scary. And it's like the Wild West. There's no sort of holds barred on it. There's no kind of right or wrong currently. And I kind of see it like, and I kind of likened this to another group of friends I was talking to about, it's like how we sort of accept that there's certain additives in our foods, right? We sort of accept there's certain things that aren't good for us, that are processed foods, but we might eat it still. I think that's where we need to get to with AI. I think there's a point where AI is just going to be there. It's Pandora's box, it's opened. But there needs to be a point where we get to, I know this is AI. I know that was AI. I know that AI is being used. Can I compartmentalize that in some way? Can I accept some part of this as being AI? And I don't think we're there yet. And so that's why I am so vehement against it. That's why I really, really don't like it. That's why I talk about it. It seems like every single episode we do a Peralta's Played, because it matters so much to me that we give AI the most minimal role possible now. I know I'm basically fighting a losing war, so to speak, but the more we talk about it, the more we advocate for AI being lesser in gaming, it matters. And I know we're just small people on the internet, but everyone saying it matters. And so that's why I keep saying it, and I keep making it clear that I'm not happy with it. I know that, there's going to be mistakes made. For example, Sandfall have said they used it at the beginning of their process, and they decided they didn't like it, and it was mainly for placeholders. The placeholder thing I don't accept. But if they used it at one point when it was starting to become new, everyone sort of did that at some point. No one can say, do you know what, I'll freely admit, when AI was becoming sort of newfangled and you could make sort of like AI like profile pictures, I did it once or twice because I didn't realize the economic, the technological, the environmental impact. But now that I do, I have decided that I don't want to do that. You know? And so we all need to, well, those who believe in this should decide that too. And so that's my kind of standpoint. Yes, there's going to be some mistakes along the way. No one's, perfectly perfect. What's the word? Thingy perfect in every way. No one's that, right? But it's about making sure that we minimize that as much as possible so that the creativity is still there. I just saw a video. I didn't actually watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail the other day saying that a certain book publisher is using AI to auto-translate books. And because of that, of course, as we know, translation doesn't work that well normally. So never mind with AI. So we're getting inferior products. We're getting inferior versions of creativity. I wouldn't like to think that I published a book in 5 years' time and that book be translated. I don't remember the book actual publisher, Lily. I just saw it. I'll try and see if I can dig out the video and I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's kind of worrying that we're getting to a point where basically people are just palming off inferior product because it's easier. And that's my concern. I think it depends how the company used it personally. Larian's one I'm slightly familiar with because I got the articles for it, but they still hired over 20 extra concept artists, so it's not being used to drain from creativity. It's not just about that though, and I get what you're saying. I get you. I get what you're saying in terms of if you are taking people on and you are giving people jobs, then fair play. But there's also the element of copyright. If they're taking images from the internet to use as a mood board and that ends up being in their final pieces to a large degree, then they're basically using other people's art to create their own art. And that's very different to taking inspiration from someone's art. If essentially by some means the AI has pulled someone's art and used a fundamentally large part of it to create concept art that then someone has drawn again. Just Google it. 2 of the big publishers, at least. Not surprising. Yeah, see, Lily, it's unbelievable. And then, as well as that, you've got the environmental impact, and we're all seeing it now. People are all seeing it. Have you guys seen the price of RAM now? Have you guys seen what Nvidia and AMD are doing? These are the real life costs of what's happening with AI. We're now going to have to put the gamers, the people who are doing it the most, and now going to be struggling to get the pieces they need to be able to game. There's pricing increases of about £3,000 for some places. I saw yesterday that there's been someone who had their computer that they priced at $3,200. They had it revoked on them, even though they had got their statement and everything, and now they're having to pay an extra $1,000 on top of that because the prices have changed. The prices have skyrocketed. It's in my head, the way things are going at the moment, I can't in good conscience accept a small element of AI. Corsair have come out and said they'll honor the original price. Well, that's great, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place, you know? I'm glad that's the case, actually, Ridrix. That's great, but it shouldn't have happened in the first case. If you've agreed to sell something at a certain price and you've got a statement as their fraud detection code, okay, well that's fair. That's acceptable then, and it's good to be updated about that in real time. But so thank you for that, Ridrix. But yeah, still, it's unbelievable. We had some other trailers to watch, so that's my AI topic, and you guys can sort of take away what from you want. And I always say this as well. Because someone has a different opinion on me than with AI, it doesn't mean I'm falling out with you. It doesn't mean I disagree with you on everything else. If you were actively using AI to an insane degree, maybe we'd have a few words to have. But people having different opinions on this, I'm not angry with you. I'm not disappointed in you. You have your own opinions to make, and you have your own limits and stops and points that you think are okay and not. I'm only expressing mine because I feel like if I express it enough, maybe someone will agree. Maybe someone will be more vocal as well. That's my standpoint on it. So don't take it as me proclaiming on high and telling you guys you're all wrong. It's just me talking about the way I see it. So yeah, should have stuck with making AI silly words, or maybe my typos are enough. We don't need AI. We don't need AI is going to replace all these typos, guys. So next up, I'm cherry picking from the Game Awards, but we've got Tomb Raider. Was it Legacy of Atlantis? Is that the one? Yeah. So I've only played the Survivor games of the Tomb Raider games, but I do want to play the others, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do that at some point this year because we've got these new games coming. So let's look at Legacy of Atlantis first.
It's been years. but the events are still etched in my memory. Lost worlds, frozen in time. New discoveries, waiting behind every door. Across every chasm. I didn't know then the path this adventure would send me on. But it lit a fire that still burns. I need to see more. I need to go further. To uncover the secrets of Atlantis. Some legends are destined to be retold.
Okay, and then so that's a remake of the original Tomb Raider, and then we have Catalyst as well.
The entire world knows your legend. You survived the Dragon's Triangle. Crossed the threshold to Atlantis. I've heard a dozen tall tales that say you're unstoppable. But I say, all legends must come to an end.
That's where you're wrong. I'm just getting started.
So that's coming in 2027. So we're getting the remake of the original game in 2026, and we're getting 2020 in 2027. We're getting Catalyst. Now, what's interesting about this is that it seems like what people are sort of implying, a lot of people have been wondering for a while, is if there's going to be like sort of a unified timeline. I don't know how true this is. I'm not the expert on Tomb Raider. Felix isn't here, so we can't ask him. But the idea is, what I'm going to do is I plan to try and get through all the games before Catalyst comes out at some point, and get through the Tomb Raider backlog, so to speak, in case that is true. Because it looks like this game's a continuation from, is it Underworld or something like that? So yeah, that's going to be something that we're going to do at some point. We're going to go through them all. I'll redo the Survivor trilogy, and then we'll do the older ones as well. Now, Nate, good question. Why does not why does every game have a grappling hook? But yeah, a Tomb Raider, I'd imagine, is the one that's fair play on that. I was going to read the other one. Why does that count as a late to the party? Does that count as a late to the party game as it's a remake? I'd say so. What I'd say on this, a remake isn't the same as a remaster. So if it's a remaster, or it's pretty much essentially the same game, then I would say it counts as late to the party. If it's a new experience, if it's pretty much a totally new experience, then because of like how things have changed so much in that time, or if it adds new content, then I'd say it's a sneeze. Yeah. I would look. Hey, Lily.
As an outfit.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sneeze.
Bless you. Thanks, Jaybird. Hi, Jaybird. Welcome in. That would take you all. Yeah, just do the new ones. I've already done the new ones though, but it's okay. We can do them. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. So Final Fantasy Remake isn't late to the party, but Spyro Reignited Trilogy is late to the party. That is essentially, that's a good way of talking about it, genre. Yes, exactly. If the game is fundamentally different from the first time round, it's late to the party. It's not late to the party. Sorry, I'm getting confused. The wetness of that sneeze is horrifying. Yeah, I know. What else do we want to look at? There was the new Control spin-off shown, but I have not played the other Control games, so I don't feel like I can say much on that at the moment. But Gigita has made it clear that I should play those at some point, so we will be. The Lego Batman trailer went on for too long, but that's also something we're going to play this year. And then anything else I want to look at quick. I tell you what I want to look at. Warlock. That looked cool. Can't type. Warlock. Dungeons and Dragons. So this is from Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons, and it's a game called Warlock, which actually looked pretty cool. Never seen you play a racing game, PP. I played a little bit of some.
All of this magic is packed.
Reforged.
What is the cost?
I've just thought that this trailer might be DMCable. I didn't know. I don't know if this music's actual music or not. But anyway, I'm going to stop there just in case. But it looks cool. It looks interesting. The idea of a warlock and the pact and kind of what that could potentially imply for a game is interesting. But obviously, we see no gameplay here. The gameplay reveal's coming this year, so I'll hold reservation for them. But it's an interesting concept, and using the warlock as a class could be cool. And what you could see is, and this is what I was sort of thinking about myself, is if Warlock succeeds, potentially you see some other games around like a D&D class. Warlock's the one that kind of makes a big impact, but you could see other ones potentially. Who knows? So yeah, really cool, really interesting visually, but other than that, I don't want to say anything. Because there's not enough there. The trailer feels like it's D&D for people who listen to Imagine Dragons. Oh, look, someone said it. Eldritch Blast the game. Top comment. Okay, that, I think, is going to be it for Peralta's Played. If we have any final comments, feel free to get them in. Otherwise, we're going to leave it there. It's been a great year. It had been a great year. It's finished now. For games, we got a lot done, a lot more than I have in previous years, and there's a lot to look forward to this year as well. And as you guys will see in the episodes to come. But thank you guys so much for an amazing year of this. This is a full year of doing Peralta's Played now. And yeah, I can't wait to see what comes next. Don't give Wizards of the Coast ideas. They'll milk it and have Barbarian, Wizard, and Paladin coming out each year. It actually gave me that like late 2000s RPG with random heavy metal edgelords in it. Loved it. It is kind of that in a little way. Yeah, it is. You're right. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Those watching on Twitch will be sticking around doing some other stuff, and those watching on YouTube, this is the end of another episode of Peralta's Played and basically the end of season 1. So thank you guys. I'll see you later. I hit the wrong one. We'll just be our being, except for those on YouTube.
I'm interested to see what the